So Barry, you want to talk about your
Well,
prescriptions?
I read this once, it's always about description and not about prescription, all of these reports, so I thought maybe there's something we could start to work with in that maybe we could create math and communication supplements to give to the high school, right? So so maybe they could see how it actually applied. I know I was never a good high school student, I remember thinking, especially math, what do I need to know this for? When am I gonna have to figure out the area of appearance?
That question still comes
You
up.
know, so, I was like that, and I think a lot of people are. And then I thought if we could collaborate, and then maybe we could apply some of the math and communication concepts in the trade area, so, volume and things like that. So if a person's actually interested, if I speak for you in plumbing, they could maybe do pressure drops. I don't know what they would do, but something that actually applies, so they can actually see how what you're teaching them applies. And I think it would be beneficial to you too, right?
Absolutely.
So I just gave a few ideas. So for communications, I thought one of them would be, create some dialogue around this. So it's something exciting for students. It's just kind of this Mustang kind of describing this particular vehicle as we do a run around, right? So I just thought that would be maybe a little bit exciting and a little bit for communication, because I don't want to.
Did this car just come out?
Yeah, it's new.
Okay, so just yesterday, Phil was like in my math class, he's like, Miss, and it must be the Mustang. I didn't really retain the car. It's like, you gotta see this new, but it was red. So maybe they can. Yeah, no, they absolutely would engage in that.
And it shows the engine eventually.
And so, what would you expect? So, like, what are you looking for in your description?
I would ask Amanda that, because I was just trying to put something together for communications as well, and I thought maybe we could get them to do a voiceover here.
Oh, I see. Right.
Right, so, accuracy in their speech, logical order, a little bit of critical thinking, or, can you add to this that's not, it's could be a very simple presentation, because they end up even here presenting on things that are not related to themselves or to their trades or to their interests, and it's just another way to do a presentation so that they're engaged.
Mm-hmm.
So something beyond just wow.
Wow, this car, look at a pretty car.
Yeah.
So,
Here, will this be easier if it's in turn more to you?
No.
Oh. Okay.
Okay, so when you met with Martin, Jeremy, Stan, whoever you met with down
Yes.
there, these are some of the very simple things that they said would be the math.
Was that automotive?
This is automotive.
Okay.
Yes, this one's strictly automotive, I think. I think maybe we'll do a little separate one for plumbing, and then,
Yeah, that's no problem.
just because it might be easier.
So, is this something we can have? This PowerPoint?
Yes, well,
Or-
co-author?
Absolutely.
Yes.
And then this was the same car, that's that Boss 302, and I don't know, it just gets excited. So I put this thing because I think as it goes on, you've got the gearbox there, they all like Canon air filters, they probably have stickers. But how much air does this engine actually ingest when it's running around? And it's a high powered car, it's only 5 liters, so it's this one is 440 horsepower and it's 7,200 RPM, so it uses a lot of air. And I think if you were into science, it probably makes a lot of smog, right? But so then I was just giving some numbers for like volumetric efficiency, how well it consumes air, how much air would the thing actually consume. So just little things like that might be maybe of interest, because that's volume measurements and stuff like that. So I was just putting things together. So.
And I think Barry's bigger picture would be that people like Barry at the college level could put together inserts for your workplace math. And so, you know what, you're interested in this general trade like automotive
Right.
or whatever it is.
Right.
Here are some real life automotive questions to go with your learning these things that are actually, more applied and more.
And I think it makes it more exciting if it's something
That they are interested.
right, that there's
Absolutely.
something that they're interested in, because even when you were looking at that Mustang, if they're at least, if that was called a Laguna Seca edition, so it had splitters on it, it had, you know, all of these different things that, you know, probably they could explore and research a little bit more. And then that's the same motor, but it kind of makes them that they want to know a little bit more, right?
So from last year, when Martin and Stan gave me the textbook, and they said, because I have a student who I believe will be coming here in January, and so instead of, because he's the same type of kid, whereas if it's sort of not related to automotives, even in English, so right now, because of the literacy test, big push is like newspaper, writing newspaper articles, 5-paragraph opinion piece, things like that. So, you know, he would always do sort of it just wasn't engaged, right, in some of that. But give him that textbook, and we did sort of just that. I put it on Kurzweil for him so he could read it, right? But answering the questions, I mean, he got, you know, out of those 20, it was 18 correct. Like because he was engaged, because he had the context. And he actually had to explain to me, because, I mean, I had a hard time trying to figure out, because they don't come with the answers in the back of the book.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I had to sort of, but I was able to help him, though, in that sense with, because there was times where he felt he knew the answer more than the textbook, right? Because, you know, he just thought he knew. And I said, well, yeah, but to answer these questions, you need to find it in the textbook, so working on those. So I agree with you. Having more of this for our classrooms absolutely would engage our students.
And I don't know, and I think too, if I was your student and you could help me with this, I would give you more credibility as a math teacher too. I would have probably more respect for you. Do you know what I mean?
100%, because I don't have those automotive skills, but you know what was nice? They know I have the like math skills that I can help them with, but then they were teaching me the automotive skills, and that gave this sort of this dual respect, right? This connection, and there was a bit more trust, because you're right, prior to that, and he had been told by his brother who had gone through the college saying, well, high school teachers don't know what they're talking about, right? Like the math that they're making us do just doesn't relate. So he already had that perception that I wasn't going to be able to prepare him. So which was started this process, right? He told me that in grade 10, graduated last year, yes, we are here.
But it's funny, I think the math is completely relatable if we can actually have these
We just need help, right?
relations. Yeah, we
Yeah.
you need to not have such a divide between high school and college, it's, you know?
There's also a lot of great literacy there, just in terms of the symbols that I'm looking at.
Yeah.
You know, students, will they recognize what 5,500 RPMs means? Will they know if it's 1 RPM, is that 5 liters it's consuming, or is it a different amount? Is it a
Yeah.
proportional amount? So there's lots of opportunities for discussion there.
Yeah, exactly. I agree.
So anyway, that would be things that I would kind of, you know, also throw in for math. You know, what the cylinder, so atmospheric pressure, depending on, you know, that's what it would be in the cylinder if it could actually fill the cylinder. So just little things to twist it around. And VE makes power, right? The more volumetric efficiency, the more power. So I guess kids like kind of that, right?